everybody, let's go. I'm hoping that you're ready for another episode. You know we play that music in the UB studio. And now it's time to welcome everybody to the Parker Radio Show. Everybody, let's go. I'm hoping that you're ready for another episode. You know we play that music in the UB studio. And now it's time to welcome everybody to the Parker Radio Show.
How we doing out there, everybody? We're here for a Parker Radio Show. It is 6/7 at 5:43, and we're going to do this show a little different this week. We actually got Jayna Jennings here with us, and we're going to be interviewing her live. But until then, I'm going to play a couple of her songs that she has. This is The Narcissist. The Narcissist by Jayna Jennings. So stay tuned, we've got a live interview, but I'm going to read off a short bio that Jayna had put on her website there. So she's saying only 2% of the population are redheads, and Jayna Jennings makes music as unique as her fiery hair. At 21 years of age, Jayna has over 50 copyrighted songs and has released 2 albums, an EP, and 7 singles, received 25 nominations in coveted music awards, which include 3 nominations for the year 2021. She received the honor of Folk Americana Bluegrass Vocalist of the Year in both 2019 and 2020 at the Josie Music Awards. Over 60,000 streams on Spotify alone, and has built a uniquely dedicated global fan base who lovingly refer to themselves as Gingers, a play on the word gingers, like the red hair gingers, referencing Jenna's copper-colored curls. So that's just a short bio here on the Parker Radio Show. Again, we will have Jayna Jennings here in just a few minutes. I'm going to play this next song, Blue by Jayna.
You are an ocean and I'm drowning. You're deep and blue, I can't swim, but I'm trying. Your love is wide and long, I'm starting to break. I'm lost in your love, I'm caught in your wake. You are peaceful and then a storm. You're everything I'll ever want and more. Your love is far away. You're a storm about to pour. I'm gone in your water, show you what you do. Will I sink or will I swim? Close my eyes, lights are getting dim. Will I breathe or will I drown? Will my feet ever touch the ground? Will I sink into you or will I swim into the blue? You are a storm, your clouds surround me. You are a tempest, my ship is out on the sea. You cover my skies, I wish I knew how to fly. Your face in every raindrop, I can't close my eyes. Hard as I try. Will I sink or will I swim? Close my eyes, lights are getting dim. Will I breathe or will I drown? Will my feet ever touch the ground? Will I sink into you or will I swim into
And you're listening to Blue here on the Parker Radio Show, powered by Unique Beats. I think we're getting a call. Hello, this is DJ Parker.
Hello.
Jenna, welcome. How are you?
I am so good. Thank you so much.
Yes, it's always a pleasure having you. I know I had you on the show, it's been probably a year or so ago?
Yes, and thank you for having me on again. Last time, you were the first radio station to play To Narcissus, so I was really excited to be able to send you my new single, Eliza, and to be able to come back and talk to you some more.
Very, very nice. Well, it's always a pleasure having you here on the show. So let's start off a little bit by telling us a little bit about yourself and how you got into music.
I am a singer-songwriter. I live north of Atlanta. I started singing in church. I was like 3 years old and would get up and sing, and I just loved music, and I loved seeing people play instruments, so I always knew that was what I wanted to do. I would always say, when I grow up, that's exactly what I want to do. And so I started learning to play instruments, and my cousin owned a music store, so she let me come and perform at intermission between two bluegrass bands. So that was kind of how I got my start. I would sing commercial jingles and just folk songs and anything that I knew in intermission between bluegrass bands, and eventually started writing songs and knew that I wanted to be the band instead of the intermission act. So I started working toward that, and the rest is history.
Very nice. So what are the skills that you have learned over the years that help you in your singing career?
So learning to play guitar really helped me be able to accompany myself and kind of learn my voice a little better, because I knew what keys I liked to sing in. And after that, I started to learn to play piano, and I could only play by ear, so I wanted to learn to read music. And I started taking piano lessons and realized how similar piano and guitar really are, because if you know one theory, like if you know the theory when you're learning guitar, it's so much easier to apply it when you're learning piano. So I started learning different instruments just to see how everything was similar to each other. And I learned to play bass and auto harp and just mandolin and as many instruments as I could. But then I started taking vocal training at Jan Smith Studios and learned how to take care of my voice, learned how to expand my range a little bit better. And those were all skills that I had not even considered. Like, oh, that would probably, be so helpful. And then after I started learning how to take care of my voice, the world opened up for me. So I was able to write better songs and be able to accompany myself better because I knew my voice better. I knew what sound I wanted. And that was really the formative years where I was shaping my sound and learning what I wanted my music to stand for and how I wanted to reach people, what I wanted my mission statement to be, which is to spread a message of hope to everyone who hears me. So as I was learning those things, I wrote my first album, recorded my first album, and released it. And after that, I just kept writing and releasing music. And that's kind of gotten me where I am now. It's just the love of playing and singing and performing.
Yes, very, very nice. Singers learn and memorize and perform songs. They may work in the studio and entertain live audiences. Some receive formal education and training, while others depend on raw talent. Based on overall appeal, skill, and networking abilities, singers can work in many different sections. So that's, very nice, and for you to say that you've took some training and vocal lessons and learned different instruments to help your career. So let's talk a little bit more about your performing and how you describe your onstage personality.
So I would describe my shows as fun and personal. I really like to invite my audience into my world. And for a while, I love Tom Jackson's quote that you're dating your audience when you're starting out, and then when you're playing for a group of people that already know and love you, it's like you're married to your audience. Both times you want to put your best foot forward, and you want to say, okay, but like when you're dating your audience, you want to find a hook, and you want to make them want to learn more about you and come back to your show. So that feels like a lot more pressure. But when you're married to your audience, it's kind of fun because they already love what you do. And so for a long time, I felt like I was dating my audience, and I still feel that a lot, because when I'll go to a new state or I'll go play in a new area, I feel like, okay, now I need to put my best foot forward and read my crowd really well, so I know exactly like what songs to kick off the set if they're not working. But then when I get to play for people who kind of already know what I'm about, I still feel that I'm still compelled to just make sure that I put my best foot forward and just be really honest, vulnerable, invite everybody into the meanings of my songs, and invite people into the stories of how they were written. So I feel kind of like even though I'm on stage, and even if I have, bands, or even if I'm doing an acoustic show, I want it to feel like you're in my living room and we're just hanging out with each other, and I'm playing you songs, and, I'm telling you all about how it happened, how I made this, and we're just friends hanging out.
So talking about your friends a little, or your fans, your friends and fans, tell us how you like to interact with your fans, and what you have coming up in the future that your fans will enjoy.
I kind of forget sometimes that my fans are like people that I met online, because a lot of times I'll get to meet people at shows, or I'll get a message from people who listen to me online. And it's kind of funny, though, because my whole family, like my close relatives, they know my fans by name now, because I talk about them like, oh my gosh, did you see what so-and-so said on my Twitter today? Like, I talk about them like they're friends I've known my whole life. And I love that they have just, like, my fans have become just friends of mine that interact with me, and people send me pictures of, their pets, or somebody saw ducks the other day, and I love ducks. I have 5 ducks. He took a picture of ducks and sent it to me, and was like, I was thinking about you when I saw this. And I was like, wow, like, it's so cool that you can meet people online through music, and people who connect with your music. And then it's like you just made new friends. So I feel like my fan base has become really tight, personal friend group. I try to meet as many people as possible. So what's coming up that they can look forward to is I'm working on a new album, and I can't give too much information about it right now because I have a lot of surprises coming. There may or may not be a video. I can't give a lot of details about it, but I really want to, because I'm so excited about it. I have a lot of live shows coming up, especially in Georgia, where I'm from. So if you are in Georgia and you want to come hang out with me in Blairsville next weekend, I'll be at a few state parks next weekend, and I'll post all the information. I'll be at Reeves Heritage Center and Vogel State Park. So if you're in the area, come hang out. And definitely, I've got a lot of. I can announce this for the first time because I haven't posted this anywhere yet. But in 18 days, I have an alternative version of Eliza coming out. It's my newest single, and it's kind of a fun, upbeat major song. And I've taken all the major chords and made them minor, and made it a really sad, like, rainy day sounding song. And I'm putting out an alternative version of Eliza in about 18 days on June 25th.
Very, very nice. So I know fan interaction is a very important part of being an artist, and mostly rewarding. Any stories you have about fans that have stood out to you?
Oh, I have so many. I have, like, so many fans that have turned into friends. I think I really like whenever I get to meet somebody that I've known online, or, like, if I meet somebody and they want to get a picture, that makes me super excited. So I have lots of memories of like happy getting to meet people, getting to give them big hugs, and I'm trying to think of one that I can share that wouldn't be like weird to them. Like they would hear this and be like, "Oh my gosh, why is she saying it?" I love my comments. Like a lot of the comments that I get will make me really happy. Oh, here's one. One of my fans took my song "The Blue" and made a music video for it. Like he amassed all these amazing like ocean videos and stuff, and he actually had like a YouTube premiere and everything. It was awesome.
Very
He was
nice.
like, do you mind if I do this? And I was like, no, go ahead. And he made this amazing music video for it, and I'm so grateful for that. That was amazing. I had never even considered somebody would want to do that. So that was an amazing moment.
Very, very nice. Well, this next question's just nothing to do about you or music, but if you could blink your eyes and be in a favorite place right now, where would that place be?
Murphy, North Carolina.
And why?
It's hands down my favorite place ever because it has great pizza and great steak and the most beautiful lake of shining waters I've ever seen in my life, and hundreds of ducks, and my happiest memories are there.
Very, very nice. What are some of the things that you do when you go there?
So there's this amazing restaurant, and it's a steakhouse. They're only open certain days of the week. So I've been known to make a 3-hour trip just to go to Murphy to get a piece of that, just to get some steak. It is so good, and they have the best Caesar salad ever. And there's this park, and that's where all the ducks are, and I like to go and feed the ducks up there. I went there on my birthday a couple years ago, but more like 5 years ago, and absolutely fell in love with the area. And it's not too far from me. It's just a couple hours. So anytime I feel like, I want to get out of Georgia, I want to flee the state for a minute, I go up to Murphy and just walk around. Everybody's so friendly, and they have the best antique stores. And you'll see people walking their dogs outside, and it's just so peaceful.
I really enjoy going to those antique stores. We actually based our studio here around antique stuff, and every time I go out to an antique store, I'm buying like a record player jukebox that plays the old 8-tracks, and I've started collecting vinyls. So
Very nice.
I'll have to go out and check that out sometime here soon.
Yes, they have excellent antique stores. I have so much stuff from Murphy's antique stores, and they're always like, every time you go in a store, you meet people who are so nice, and they'll like help you. I bought plates somewhere one time, like in an antique store, like China, and they were like, "Oh, we'll just keep it at the front for you." They wrapped everything up, and it was so nice. They even helped us, they even offered to help us take it through the car and everything, and it was amazing. I love Murphy. I love the antique stores. I love all the people. It's just a fabulous place.
Very nice. So, if we got some new fans that are tuning in, how do we go about checking you out for upcoming shows? What music you have available? How can we find all that?
So you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And Facebook is Jayna Jennings 13, but Twitter and Instagram are at JAYNA__Jennings. So there's 2 underscores. But if you type in Jayna, J, I'm like the only redheaded Jayna Jennings that comes up, so I'm not too hard to find. And you can find my music on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, Amazon Music, anywhere you stream and download music. And I found out the other day that you can ask Alexa to play my music.
Very, very nice.
And I really hope that the Alexa didn't hear me say that.
Be playing your music in the background. So I know there's another song that you have out, I do believe, Don't Hurt Me. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, well, this is kind of a silly story behind it, but I have migraines, and I've had migraines since I was like 9 years old. And so I would start trying to find out what my triggers were that caused migraines. So I would pay attention really close to if when I ate something, I got a migraine, I'd write it down and say, okay, well, I'm not going to eat this anymore. And I could live on barbecue chips. They are my all-time favorite food. And my favorite kind of barbecue chip has MSG in it, which I can't have because it's a migraine trigger for me. And so I was really bummed that I couldn't have barbecue chips, so I wrote "Don't Hurt Me," and I personified it to make it sound like it was a person, like you don't love me back as much as I love you kind of situation. And I was like, nobody's going to know that it's barbecue chips, but, you know, it is what it is. It's a song about chips.
Very, very nice. Interesting. You know, as I'm traveling down the road, sometimes I'll jot down some lyrics or maybe a sentence that I think would be good in a song. And I've got so many of them. I could probably write a song, 2 or 3 of them with all of it. But hopefully when that time comes, I can, you know, mix and match all those sentences and lyrics and maybe come up with something here in the future. But it's always nice to be able to, you know, jot something down and come back to it at a later time. So,
yes.
So tell us a little bit about your new song here, and then what you have planned here in the future.
So my newest single is Eliza, and it is a song that I wrote in quarantine. It was just something I was humming, and I thought it was pretty catchy. So I wrote it in like 15 minutes as just kind of a, I'll just write this down because it's in my mind, and I'll move on. And I found myself singing it all the time, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, that's my song. Why am I singing my song? And so I decided I would play around with it and decided I liked it. And it's a song about wondering if your partner wants to go back to an ex. So it's kind of an anticipating, anxious song about, okay, are you into me, or are you still thinking about your ex? And I was engaged at that point, I think, or right before we got engaged, and I played it for my fiance, and he was like, I don't know what Eliza, what are you singing about? And I was like, it's not about you, it's just a hypothetical. But it's kind of a harsh song. It's like, get your things and get out kind of a song. But it's a lot of fun to sing, and it has sass for days.
Very nice. Well, again, I want to thank you so much, Jayna, for joining us here on Unique Beats Radio. Your great lineup of artists, and we're honored to air your new single, Elijah. You can find out more about Jayna at JaynaJennings.net for updates and concert and events. And again, thank you for taking time to come in and interview with us here on the Parker Radio Show.
Thank you so much for having me. This was a blast.
Hey, it's always a pleasure having you. And again, thank you all for tuning in here to the Parker Radio Show. This is Jayna Jennings' new single, Elijah.
Baby, do you want to go back to Eliza? Maybe you found you can't live without her. Every time I look at you, I grow wiser. Do you want to go back to Eliza? Do you want to go back to Eliza? I can't go on wondering if you see her in your dreams. Do you say her name when you sleep? Some things are never as they seem, but I know your heart has never been mine to keep. One look out the window, one foot out and peace of mind. I need somebody's eyes to me and love like that to always keep, and I don't need anxiety. I need sleep. One more look out the window, one step out the door, one more. So go on, get your things and go back to the Liza. Maybe you found you can't live without her. Every time I look at you, I go wiser. Go back to Liza. Get your things and go. Get your things and go back. Get your things and go back. Get your things and go to Liza. Get your things and go. Get your things and go back. Get your things and go back. Get your things and go to Liza.
Well, all right, Elijah off of her new single, Jayna Jennings. You can follow her at JaynaJennings.net. Jayna Jennings recently celebrated her engagement to Bradley Smith. She is also a college student. Despite being busy with school and planning a wedding, Jennings has a continued writing and recording and shows no sign of slowing down. She has continued her work with Change in Our World, a suicide prevention organization performing at many of their outreach events to raise awareness for mental health and spread a positive message of hope. Her recent venture beyond the folk Americana music produced When I Hear God's Call, a collaboration effort, and her debut in the contemporary gospel genre. After being added to many FM rotations, this track went to number one on several Georgia and Tennessee radio stations, and it has become a favorite amongst her fans. Her most recent single, You, Me, Plus the Ghost, provide a triumphant return to her folk roots and has a great Spotify success to match her previous singles. Again, you can follow her at JaynaJennings.net. And again, Jayna, it's always a pleasure to have you here on the Parker Radio Show. Again, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you to all of our sponsors, State Farm, Todd Adams Agency, Wabash Engraving, Process Iron and Metals, Discounted Guitars, Rock Creek Container Homes. And again, if you would like to submit your music, please email us at uniquebeats03@gmail.com, or you can check us out at uniquebeats.com for all of our upcoming events. And again, thank you all for tuning in to the Parker Radio Show.
Hey everybody, let's go. I'm hoping that you're ready for another episode. You know we play that music in the UB studio. And now it's time to welcome everybody to the Parker Radio Show. Everybody, let's go. I'm hoping that you're ready for another episode. You know we play that music in the UB studio. And now it's time to welcome everybody to the Parker Radio Show.